We're being joined by Ravi Kapoor, who is a San Francisco-based journalist, and he's also the founder and CEO of Diya TV, which was one of the first to report about this attack. Mr. Kapoor, thank you for joining us on this broadcast. Could you share more details about this attack, which took place for the second time in the last 5 months on the Indian Consulate?
Yes, thank you for having me. I was informed by the Consul General of San Francisco, TV Nagendra Prasad, Monday morning. It's a holiday weekend here in the United States. For the 4th of July is on Tuesday, and so it's an extended weekend, a 4-day weekend. And so this incident took place between 1:30 and 2:30 in the morning on Sunday. We did not see any kind of media coverage at all, and it wasn't until we got word of a social media video that was making the rounds, which we've published, and got it verified from the Consul General to say, yes, this incident did take place, because frankly, you get skeptical about some of the videos that get put up on social media without attribution. But this video was corroborated by the Consul General, and it shows an arson attempt. There's a small, entryway before you get into the consulate, and that's where the flames were lit. And then you can see at least one, if not two individuals, potentially up to three individuals that were involved, because there was one person that ran across the camera. Certainly there was one person holding the camera. And so that's what took place. Now, the video question is very short. And as the Consul General told me, the San Francisco Fire Department got on scene very quickly and extinguished the fire with very minimal nominal damage. He was not concerned about the property whatsoever. And there were no staffers that were in the building at the time, and so no one was injured. But certainly this building has been targeted before. As you mentioned a few months ago, there was a vandalism attack. And also, I should mention that we're having another report come out on Diya TV here shortly. This building was also tagged with graffiti with references to Khalistan. And so we have those images that we're going to publish here shortly. But certainly, this is the second attack on this consulate. And as you may recall, in Australia, there was a consulate that shut down a few months ago because of threats. And of course, the High Commission in London as well, where the Indian flag was attempted to be torn down.
So, Mr. Kapoor, what action is now being taken by the authorities regarding this attack?
Well, I mean, local, state, and federal authorities have all been notified. And because this is the second such incident in as many months, there's no question there's going to be a large-scale efforts to find out who is behind this. Keep in mind, a few months ago when that original vandalism attempt happened here, within a month or so, perhaps even less, there was a sting operation in the Central Valley of California. And a number of people considered to be involved with gangs in the Central Valley, all of whom were of Sikh origin, all of whom were Punjabi, were arrested and by authorities here in California. So because San Francisco police is involved, potentially the FBI as well, there is very likely to be a number of law enforcement agents involved. And I should mention, the Consul General did tell me they have surveillance footage that has been disclosed to the police. And so I'm sure they're taking every measure to find out who did this.
Also, Mr. Kapoor, why do you think there is a rise in such attacks by separatist groups in San Francisco?
Well, it's hard to say about San Francisco specifically. I mean, I've been here my entire life. My family's been here for more than 60 years. So this has always been a very unified community, largely Punjabi historically, but with Silicon Valley, it's really diversified. You have people from all the different states in India that have immigrated here, assimilated here, done incredibly well. But you do have this very large emerging theme amongst certain groups. You get that in Canada and you get that in California, where there is a group of folks that are looking for Khalistan to get formed. And certainly, the Indian government has been strengthened here in the United States. Growing up, frankly, I felt very disconnected from India because there wasn't a very large presence. Much like we have so many people from all over the world in the United States, India was one of these countries that was not on the map. But increasingly, because we've had so much immigration from India. It is now the second largest immigrant group in the United States after Mexicans. So because there's such a large Indian presence, I mean, the dichotomy has changed. And you saw it with Prime Minister Modi's visit, which I was fortunate enough to attend, to go to the White House proceedings, as well as he had multiple events with business leaders and diaspora leaders. You see the tenor has changed, and the U.S. is embracing India in a level that those of us who have seen the relationship up close and personal for decades have never seen before. And so it's just timing, it's circumstance. But there are forces out there that obviously want to see a different approach out of India, and so they're trying to get attention. But I think San Francisco in particular, this has been a fairly easy target because it's in a neighborhood. It's not very well secured. A lot of consulates are in high-rise buildings on, say, the 20th floor. This is just in a regular neighborhood, and it's exposed. And so there's not really security personnel out there in just a regular, very nice neighborhood. And so that's one of the reasons this has been an easy target.
Also, Mr. Kapoor, the United States State Department has condemned this attack, but on the other hand, we are not seeing any concrete action being taken against the separatist group, be it the March 19th attack or be it this recent attack. Do you think condemnation is enough?
Well, I think what has happened here is that there is immense dialogue between these two nations. I mean, I was very fortunate. I was actually in the very front row for that press conference between Prime Minister Modi and President Biden, and I got to see. They only took a couple of questions each, but I could see the camaraderie between Ambassador Garcetti, who's now representing the United States, and External Affairs Minister Jai Shankar, and they were having a nice conversation before that event got started. So I think these two governments are working together on intelligence. I mean, when it comes to different diaspora issues, we've had a very significant visa situation where we have hundreds of thousands of people here in this country that are that have really a kind of a visa situation that leaves them in limbo. It's affecting even young children who were born and who were effectively raised here, who get here at a very young age. So when we have so many people that are having these challenges, Prime Minister Modi, President Biden, all of their senior officials, their diplomats are working through these issues. So I think this is just one of many issues that have come up, and certainly, as the U.S. and India intertwine further, you're going to have efforts to potentially interrupt the dialogue that they have.